Hey guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. So, I decided that I wanted to do Thursdays like a thoughtful Thursday and talk about mental health, and I realized I have no idea how to do that. I am not an expert by any means. In my head, it's like I want more people to be aware of the struggles that people go through and the different, things that are out there and just make it more obvious so that people don't feel alone, because I know just in my journey through discovering my mental health issues that there are a lot of people that are going through what I'm going through. Facebook groups, just like with the weight loss groups, are so helpful and informative, and not everyone has access to that. So, one, if you're on Facebook, if you are having issues with depression or, like in my case, bipolar 2, then look for Facebook groups and obviously definitely get counseling if you need from there. Maybe even seek out a psychiatrist, talk to your doctor if you're having any major issues. But other than that, I didn't know where to start, so I decided that I'm just going to go with my story and where I'm at, where I've been, how I got to where I am now, and I have a long ways to go, so don't think that I'm an expert, like I said, and don't think that I'm by any means. There's never really fully a cure, but stable, I would say. I'm not there yet, but I do think by talking it out on here, it can help me and maybe help other people, just like with the weight loss stuff, helps me and can help other people. It honestly, as I talk to my therapist to a lot of different things, there's a bunch of it that I'm like, I'm able to go with, just like in weight loss, like if you do da da da, blah, 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 blah. And I'll have examples of that either later in this video or in another video. Depends on how long I talk about the journey thus far. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. Some of it might get a little depressing, and some of them might be a little. I'm going to try not to get too dark with it, but when you are talking major depression, there are some stuff such as suicidal thoughts that may be triggering that you might not want to listen to. So if that's the case, I'm going to try to say it beforehand, and if I'm going to end up talking about it for a little bit, I'm going to put timestamps of when to skip if you want to, or feel free not to watch, and next Tuesday I'll do my weigh-in video. So anyway, I'm not going to go into a huge history as far as when I was a teenager, but when I was a teenager, I had a lot of depression issues. I was in and out of the psych ward very often, inpatient, outpatient. At one point, they were, outpatient is designed for short term, get you okay, and get you back out in the world. At one point, they were considering sending me to long term. At least that's what they had told me. Don't know if they really would have. I don't know. That kind of freaked me out, and I faked my way out of there, because unfortunately, if you're smart, when you're in a psych ward, you can get out anytime you want to. Especially as especially as an adult, I think you're allowed to check yourself out. I don't know the rules, but as a teenager, your parents are in charge. But I could fake it, and I wanted help, so I usually didn't. But when they said that, I totally did. But so anyway, I struggled a lot. I did, and again, not going to go into details, but cutting or self-mutilation, that was a major thing. I really do not want to go into details on that, but went through a lot. And then, my mom got sick, and basically I put my issues on the back burner, and I was helping take care of her and then life and stuff. And I just kind of created this box for my issues, and just kept burying everything. I do think that's a huge reason why my memory is so bad, why I can't remember my teenage years, why I can't remember my early 20s, because I think a lot of it is just shoved away somewhere inside of my head. But so anyway, fast forward to, I don't know, maybe it was 8 years ago or so, I got diagnosed with bipolar. And I didn't believe him. Two reasons. One, the medication that he put on me like instantly made me like really, really bad. Like dark place, major depression hit. Like a friend had to literally kidnap me, take me to the doctor's office, tell him it's not working, and, ultimately just stop taking the medication. And so I thought that was because that medication is for bipolar. I don't have that. And then two, traditionally, and I have notes, so if you see me looking down, that's why. Traditionally, like when I thought about bipolar, I thought of the major mood swings. So of course, major depression, which that I know I have, but then the major manic episodes where, like super self-confident and going on spending sprees, going to the casino and just blowing all your money, partying all night, weeks on end, taking random trips to like Vegas to party all night, super high sex drive, jumping off cliffs. I don't know, anything that major, like I'm highly energetic, highly, almost annoying with all the energy and wanting to do all the risky behavior. So I didn't believe that because that's never been me. Some lower versions of those, yes. Which brings me to this go around when I went to my psychiatrist. He diagnosed me with bipolar, and I was like, I don't think I have that. I was diagnosed with it before, but I don't get those crazy high manic episodes. I get, in my head, what I thought was normal and then extremely depressed. And I bounced back and forth between those. And that's when he brought up bipolar 2. And so that one I had never heard of. I only thought there was only one kind of bipolar. And so with bipolar 2, though, there is typically you can go into manic phases, but it's typically hypomanic phases that happen. And there's a bunch of different symptoms of that, but here's what mine are. Mine are is right. Yeah. Okay, so these are like basically when I'm in a hypomanic phase, and these are things that I just thought was my normal phase. And some of them could be, not everything has to be a symptom of something. But either way, when I'm in a hypomanic phase, I jump from topic to topic. I have a hardcore lack of concentration. It's very hard for me to focus on anything. Reduced need for sleep, spending money recklessly, fast talking, lack of concentration. So like with like say the lack of concentration and jumping from topic to topic, that type of thing, I've always joked that like if I'm sitting here staring at the TV screen, I might not know what's going on. But if I am watching it, playing on my phone, playing a game on my computer, I could tell you everything that's going on that television show. And a lot of that, like I honestly thought maybe I had ADD or ADHD or something like that. But it's actually a symptom of hypomania. And so that kind of helped clarify some stuff for me. And also to throw in there, TMI, but the heightened sex drive happens. It's part of this disorder. Like, it's like, a taboo topic. I don't really talk too much about that on this channel, but just know it's a thing. And then like spending money recklessly. Like I always, again, joke that I'm just horrible at saving money, horrible at spending it properly, things like that. I mean, I say this as I'm looking at a printer sitting over there. The other day, I had a dire need for a printer. I don't know what I was going to print, but I bought one. And things like that happen very, very often with me. And so, sorry, cat, get down. Silly cat. So that kind of opened my eyes a little bit as far as, okay, that isn't 100%, I don't want to say the word normal. I hate the word normal, but it could be caused by this. And if medication and therapy and treatment can help stabilize that, that'd be fantastic. I would love to feel like a thriving member of society. Right now, typically, I feel like a waste of space because like I barely get my bills paid. Sometimes I don't get them paid. I do stupid stuff like buy. Granted, it was on sale. It was a $70 printer, but still $70 there that could have gone to credit card debt. Things like that that aren't always the healthiest way of being. All right, and so that was an eye opener for me. It made me actually realize, okay, maybe I do believe this diagnosis. And with the depressive side, just to get it out there, my typical symptoms for being, in a depressive state is general tiredness, although tied with that can be actually the opposite. Even though I'm depressed, sometimes it can be like I'm not sleepy, but I'm maybe physically tired. So like I've never been one for having a ton of sleep, but I'll be more lack of energy. So that's what I mean by tiredness. Trouble concentrating, that's an issue again. So that's why in my head I thought it was just me. But a lot of times when you are depressed, me specifically, it is hard to concentrate because there's a lot of dark thoughts going on in the back of my head. So it's hard for me to focus. That's why it's hard during depressive states for me to focus. Changes in sleeping habits. Again, that can mean you get more sleep than usual or less sleep than usual. And mine can go either way. There are times where because of depression, I want to sleep for 10 hours. But more often than not, if I'm not taking my medication, I won't be able to sleep because of the racing thoughts. Or not even racing thoughts, but the dark thoughts that I'm constantly having to fight. And then tied into that is suicidal thoughts. And I'm not going to go into extreme detail. So, but if you do want to skip, feel free to skip forward a little bit. But with depressive episodes, and a lot of times for me, even in my manic episodes, those suicidal thoughts are constantly in my head. Every little thing that happens, that's backfiring. Like it's there. I don't know how to word it. But it's constantly a battle in my head of, some even when stuff goes well. It's like, well, that was good. I might as well end it here. Or when things are going bad, see, this is proving I should just end it here. Or when things aren't going anywhere, it's like, this is boring. Let's just end it here. Constantly going on in my head. Hence why the medication, because some of it can be helped with therapy. Like I said, I have gotten the cognitive behavioral therapy book, and I actually just got an Eat to Beat Depression and Anxiety book. And I haven't started this one yet. But things like that can help, but sometimes you do need medication. And that's where I currently am on my journey, is I'm going to therapy twice a week, working with outside sources, but also working to find the right medication. Currently, I take 10 pills a day. Granted, it's 4 different pills, and plus a 5th pill that I can take as needed for anxiety. Luckily, my anxiety only tends to happen during a hypomanic stage, so that's great. A ton of energy, and let's be scared. But for the others, I'm trying to find the right medication to balance. And it's hard because you're trying to treat 2 opposite symptoms. So you're trying to get your brain to produce chemicals so that instead of going too high or going too low, that it meets somewhere in the middle. And that's very, very tricky. I just added a new medication last time I went to my doctor, which was like last week, a week from today. So it's not had time to kick in. Typically, psychological medications take 4 to 6 weeks to start working. So it's hard to say if this new one will help or not. But we shall see. And, you got to keep trying. Like, one thing I've learned from the Facebook groups is that there are a lot of people that it took them, a few years or longer to find the right medication. And that's a tricky thing to hear because they found it, they're stable, they're able to live life and be happy, but at the same time, it's like years of fighting it. And I'm trying to remind myself, I spent 36 years basically fighting this. I mean, I don't know if I was depressed as a kid, but at least 20 years fighting this and have without any help. And so I've made it this far. That's one thing that my psychiatrist even pointed out is like, you've made it this far, so keep on going. But in my head, it's like, it's been like 20 something years of dealing with this and it hasn't gotten better. But at the same time, I haven't gotten help for a very long time. So fingers crossed that I get there. But, just fingers crossed that I get there. I hope that everybody can get to a happy, healthy state of mind. And I think that's all I really want to say in this video. Like, I don't know what I really wanted to do with all of the Thoughtful Thursdays. Like I said, I know I wanted to, have it more open and more out there, but I don't know how. So if any of you guys, if you're still here 16 minutes in, if any of you guys have any ideas of what you'd like me to talk about, even if it's a matter of me researching something, I don't mind doing that. I actually like doing research. Feel free to let me know. Give me your thoughts and opinions. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, and I will talk to you guys Tuesday when I do my weigh-in.